Hello, friends. Hope you're having a great day and or evening. Welcome to Kelzak Bean. My name is Eddie. Grab some coffee here. All right. So what we're looking at today is Patchbays. I think it's a tool that every studio needs. If you got any kind of gear that needs to talk to other gear, it's just needed in a studio. So real quick, I have an extra one here because I plan to have more gear in the future, I guess. But this is just a 1/4 inch TRS 48 point patch bay. There's 48 holes in the front, 48 in the back. Okay, that's how they work. They work by normal, half normal, and through. So through, I don't really much use. You go in the top, comes out the top, just went through. I don't see a need for that. But how I think they're used in studios is normaled. There is a reason maybe for a half normal that I use once in a while, but I'll talk about that when I show you my patch bay. But I just wanted to show you this and how this works. So try to keep it simple when we're normaled. Okay. First off, I like this Samson's. The reason why, they got the switches in the front to change it from normal to through to half normal. I think that's fantastic because usually on the back is where they have the buttons to change that. And I don't feel like unhooking it from reaching behind all the gear. It's easier when it's right there on the front. I think it's genius. So anyway, let's think of it like this. Think of it like a waterfall. Your signal's in the top. It automatically connects to the bottom. It's always flowing down. That's how you think of it, down. So if there is nothing plugged in there, what signal's coming from there is automatically connected to this one, and then it's going out. So that's how you got to look at it. It's automatically that way. Now, if the signal is flowing like that, and I go into this top one here, and I just put a patch cable, bing. Okay, now I broke that signal. Now it's not flowing. Now it's here. So now I have to put this signal to go somewhere. So maybe I have a piece of gear that I want there. So that's the in, the bottom. Okay, so remember that. Top is out, bottom is in, because the signal flows from top to bottom. So if you want to break the flow, you're going to come out the top so it doesn't get to the bottom. And then you're going to go in somewhere else, and then you're going to come out the top one and say you want to come back to that channel. Just come out and come back into the bottom one. Now you made that connection. Technically, I could just do this. I could go out and I could go in. Now it's connected. But I could take them out and it's connected automatically. So you set your patch bay up on how you want to make sure. So those connections that you know, like something's connected from here to here, that's how you want to set up your patch bay, so because you get to use less of these. These get a little expensive after a while too. So now what I just really want to do is I'll take you over a few steps right behind me over here. I got a patch bay, and just explain how I'm using mine. There's many ways. Please comment if you got better ideas. I'm always up for good ideas. My studio is always evolving, but I'll just show you how I'm using mine. It works for me for my flow. So let me flip you around, and then we'll take a walk over there. Okay, so here it is, the Kelzak Bean patch bay. Now you can see here I have the other brands. You notice they don't have the buttons. It's because I have them set. The buttons are on the back, but they're already set. I know I'm not, these are my inserts for the console. So I know I always want them normaled. I'm never going to want to half normal them or through them. Okay. So this is, you just label it. These labels from Trace Audio, awesome. And then you can put whatever your gear is, you have them set up. And then it doesn't erase. Yeah, I got to use like a Q-tip and some alcohol, takes them out. But I have mine working for me. So just to give you an example, mine, if this is my inputs down here, I got a microphone coming in channel 1. It's now going to come up to the top, and it's going to come in channel 1 here. Now this connection automatically connects. This is where it comes in from the connection down here. Then down here, it automatically flows, and this is what's connected to channel 1 on the input for channel 1 on the console. So if I just plug in a mic and leave it alone, it's already going to the console. So that's how I like it. Now, if I want to not use the console's preamp, and I want to use a preamp, say this Camden here, so I come and I plug in out, now the signal is broken and it's here. So my Camden preamp is right here. So I'm going to go in, remember, in on the bottom, out on the top. So now I got to get from the preamp back to channel 1. So now I'm going to come out the preamp and I'm going to go back in to channel 1. So now I'm using this preamp on channel 1 going to my console. Now I'll just cover real quick. I told you about the half normal. So what can happen is if I want same concept, I'm coming in channel 1 and I said, okay, I'm gonna now, but I'm on half normal. So now when I plug in, that signal is still going to the bottom on half normal, even though I plugged in something to break the signal. So what this is sending a copy at this end. So I'm going to send a copy to the preamp. I'm going to come out the preamp and I'm going to come in channel 2 on the console. So now I have a dry signal using the console's preamp on channel 1, and then I have still just one mic. I'm sending a copy. I also have a signal coming in on channel 2 of the console, but I'm using the Camden preamp. So that's good if you're just testing out compressors, testing out preamps of what sounds better when you're trying to find the sound of what you're looking for. That's the only time I ever use the half normal. So I hope this was helpful for people. This is how I use mine. Like I said, please, put in the comments, you got any other ideas or any other questions, just let me know. Hopefully, I'm sure I'll answer them. I like to get to all the answers. Let me get you turned around here. All right, we're back. So, like I said, simple. There are many different patch bays you could get, different brands. I'm not partial to anyone. I just like the Samson because it's got the switches right on the front. So, set it up for what you need. You got to use your imagination. Think of the flow and how you want to do that. So, once again, hey, thanks. I appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe. Hope everybody has a great day and or evening. And I'll talk with you later.